Hello everyone and welcome to our very first Africa Hospitality webinar. My name is Beth Mahasi from Torrens University in Australia. So today we'll be discussing a few issues about a few topics about the hospitality courses available at Torrens University Australia. I'll be going through a few slides where we'll be looking at the courses that we have on offer, our campuses, our intakes, our fees, our scholarships, and then we'll close off with a question and answer session. But in the meantime, if you have any question, you can just pop it into the chat and my colleagues will help me get back to you. So we'll kick off our presentation now. So why Torrens University? So Torrens University, it's an innovative, disruptive, and a university in Australia that has an international approach to higher education. We are Australia's youngest university, but we are also Australia's fastest growing university. We offer a wide range of courses. So by enrolling at Torrens, not only in hospitality, but you'll also get access to over 300 high quality courses at Torrens as well. And you can study what you want, where you want. Majority of our courses are also available online. So as a student of Torrens University, you will get access to our global network of students. So in a few slides, I'll show you that we have a very rich international mix of students. Our students come from all over the world, not just from Africa. We have students from Europe, from Asia, from all other continents, as well as Australian students in our classes. As part of our course delivery, especially in hospitality, we do offer industry placement as well. And these are with some of the most influential brands in the world. And I'll be discussing a little bit more about these brands further down the line. As a student of Torrens, you'll also get access to our success coaches who will be coaching you to achieve your career and life goals. So success coaches are a facility that is quite unique at Torrens University. They are part of our team, our international team, that are accessible to all our students, both those who are onshore and those who are offshore. And they will assist students with their course enrollment, their subject selection, their course projections, how to apply for credit. If, for example, you've done probably some hospitality studies before and you want to continue your studies at Torrens, there is opportunities for you to apply for credit transfers. So our success coaches will be able to advise you on how to go about this. And also they'll be able to connect you to other support facilities on campus if you want assistance with accessing the library, for example, or how to structure your assignments in academic writing. If you need some counseling support or some disability support, our success coaches are available to assist you through your journey as a student at Torrens University. So as I mentioned earlier, our international student mix, it's actually very, very rich. We do have students from 6 continents, from more than 100 countries, and we currently have more than 19,000 students studying at Torrens University. As I mentioned before, Torrens is Australia's fastest growing university, and it has a very incredible industry immersive difference. As of 2020, we had about 19,000 students enrolled at Torrens University, and we do retain the students that start their studies with Torrens. They do stay at Torrens until they complete their studies, and that's what that slide would refer to at the bottom left-hand corner, 90% retention for international students, which actually means that when students come to study at Torrens University, they are happy, they are satisfied, they are learning, and they do tend to stay with Torrens until they complete their studies. Our hospitality graduates have a 95% employment rate, and actually statistics, I've just run through some statistics, and it shows that 3 months after completing your hospitality courses at Torrens, our students do secure permanent employment. And as I mentioned before, we do have industry placements with over 3,000 industry contacts in Australia, and I'll discuss a few examples of some of these industry contacts shortly. So the ranking of our hospitality courses is actually quite high. We are, our Blue Mountains International Hotel Management School is #1 in Australia for hospitality and leisure management. And this is via the QS World Rankings of 2019. Our William Blue Dining restaurant is top 10 restaurant from TripAdvisor 2018. Blue Mountains is the #1 hotel management school in Australia from a TNS survey of 2020. And we also ran the 20th Global MBA online as graded by CEO Magazine in 2020 and this year as well. So why would you want to study in Australia? There's many reasons why you should consider studying in Australia, especially a hospitality course. And I'm going to be running through a few of those reasons. So Australia is one of the few countries in the world where international students are allowed to work while they are studying. So in Australia, on a student visa, you're allowed to work up to 40 hours every fortnight while you're studying during your term. And then you can work full time during your holidays as well. Our students study at 5 out of the 30 best students cities in the world. These are in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Adelaide. It's a very popular international student destination. Australia is actually the third most popular destination for international students. So we do have a very rich mix of international students spread across the various cities in Australia. You also, as a student, as an international student, you also do get a 2 years post-study work visa. And this is a visa that allows you to remain in Australia after your student visa to get some work experience. So you will get 2 years post-study work visa at a minimum. But if you study, for example, in the Adelaide campus, you do get 3 years of a post-study work visa. Australian universities are also ranked ninth in the world. So the Australian university ranking system is ranked ninth in the world, which is quite a competitive place for it to hold. And it shows that the qualifications that you attain in Australia are internationally recognized and they are mobile. So you can move with your qualification either from Australia to another country or back to your home country, and the qualification will be recognized. So Torrens University, we pride in ourselves as being a national university because we do have multiple campuses spread across Australia. We do have campuses in Sydney, in Melbourne, in Brisbane, and in Adelaide, and we deliver most of our courses across these campuses, which gives you options and flexibility with where you want to study once you enroll at Torrens. And even once you are a student in Australia in Torrens and you want to change, probably from Adelaide to Melbourne, you will still have access to our campuses in Melbourne as well. So as I mentioned, we do have multiple campuses across the world. This is an image of our Adelaide campus, the front side of our Adelaide campus. And at the Adelaide campus, we offer various courses, including hospitality, health, education, design, and business as well. So there's a very strong mix of students studying different courses. So you will get to meet students and share experiences with students from various faculties as well. And we also have a Sydney campus, which is at an area called The Rocks. And here we deliver our business and hospitality courses. We do have our William Blue Dining College. This is a hospitality and hospitality college in Sydney. And here is where you'll be studying your hospitality courses. We do have the Laura campus. This is also at Blue Mountains campus, and it delivers hospitality and English language classes as well. Our Melbourne campus is on Flinders Street, which is in the Melbourne CBD, and here you also have a wide variety of courses, including business, design, health, education, hospitality, and our English college as well. We also do have an offshore campus in China where students enrolling for hospitality courses. So why would you want to study hospitality? So as I mentioned before, the hospitality courses in Torrens are delivered by two of our colleges, the Blue Mountains International Hotel Management School and William Blue Dining, which are highly ranked hospitality institutions in Australia. So it is projected by the year 2022, there will be 73 million new travel and tourism jobs globally. So this should tell you that the number of opportunities to study, to actually build a hospitality career are many, which means that if you engage yourself to start and complete your hospitality course now, you are setting yourself up for a very successful career with very many opportunities in various places of the world. Because from the slide in front of us right now, you can see that Europe is projecting about 2.2 million jobs, the Middle East about 1.2, Asia Pacific about 46.1, and the Americas about 9.6 million travel and tourism jobs by 2022. So some of the graduate outcomes that you as a Torrens University student will get to enjoy after the completion of your course. This is just a small summary. So our courses will make you job ready. So 94% of our hospitality management students are employed in their chosen field within 8 months of graduation. By completing your hospitality course with Torrens, you're setting yourself up for a very successful hospitality career. 75% of our graduates are in hospitality and tourism, and 20% are in hospitality-related industries such as event management and service delivery. You also get to enjoy professional achievements as a Blue Mountains hospitality graduate. 70% of our graduates are in a management position after 5 years or less, while 12% of our graduates are in general management positions. You also get to enjoy a fast-moving career, 12 to 18 months average time before position progression, and 2 to 3 countries that graduates have worked in after 5 years. Hospitality is a very broad and a very versatile, a very flexible career. By completing either of our courses, you will be able to secure yourself a career in various forms of hospitality. It could be in hotel and resort industry, in the event industry, in the restaurant and culinary industry, in the tourism industry, including airlines and cruise lines, and other alternative industries, including banking, luxury brands, and education and training as well. So you could be, for example, a lecturer teaching students hospitality courses as well. So our residential campus in the Blue Mountains in Laura. So in Blue Mountains, we do have, why we call it a residential campus is because we do provide accommodation to our students. At the Blue Mountains campus, you will learn applied learning. So it will be focusing more on the restaurant service, the front office, the guest service, the food and beverage, events, and housekeeping, working with other nationalities, and also there will be a focus of working in teams. So in terms of accommodation, we do have single or twin rooms. We do provide internet access to our students. We do provide 24/7 campus support. And we also recommend that our first year students stay on campus, and then from second year, they can choose to either continue living on campus or move off campus. This is usually, this is just advice so that our international students who are in their first year can spend the time learning the environment, learning their campuses, living within the campus and having the 24 hours campus support. We also have our executive business campus. So here we focus more on the business units, including the latest technology, the learning flexibility, living autonomy, and easy access to employers. The facilities at this campus, it's in the heart of Sydney or Melbourne CBD. It offers a fantastic lifestyle to students. You have access to very many restaurants and coffee shops and hotels that you can try out. And also this presents a lot of job opportunities for our students, both part-time during the term and full-time during the holidays. And also after that, while you're on your work visa, it does provide opportunities for even multiple jobs. You can have 2 to 3 jobs depending on how your shifts are scheduled. So these are some of our partners where our students have the opportunities to do their placement. So we have partners in Shangri-La, in the Hilton, in the Four Seasons, Crown Resorts. So these are all our partners where our students have opportunities to do their placement. And this actually, a lot of our students who do placement at these institutions do end up getting full-time employment as part of after their internship. And what this demonstrates in the student's CV, if you're able to present to an employer and say, I did my 6 months internship at the Ritz-Carlton, it actually shows that you have been exposed to a high standard of international hotel management, dealing with international customers and being in that environment. And that actually sets you apart and actually puts you ahead of the curve in terms of other students and other job applicants as well. So this is a typical structure for our Bachelor's of Business. So it is normally a 3-year course. So in the first semester, as I said before, we do recommend that students stay at the residential campus in Laura. So for the first semester, and then in the second semester, the students actually have the opportunity to start their industry placement. So the way the course is structured is you will have 1 semester of theoretical classes followed by a semester of practicals. And these are paid internships, and we do assist in finding the internships for the students. They are paid internships. You're actually working in a restaurant or a hotel, depending on what course you're pursuing, every second trimester until the completion of your course. So these placements are typically about 6 months in duration, and you're doing about 4 subjects. So each industry placement is equivalent to 4 subjects. The bachelor's degree can be what we call delivered in a staggered way. And what I mean by this is you can do your first year as a diploma, which will be 1 year. And then once you complete your second year, you can actually exit with an associate degree in business. And then once you finish the third year, you'll actually graduate with your bachelor's degree in business. So a similar structure with hospitality management and tourism management specializations. But in this case, your first year, which is the diploma, does not have an industry placement. So it's a purely theoretical course. And then in your second year, that's when you do your industry placement. And then in the third year, you continue and you finish off your bachelor's degree as well. It is a similar structure with our Bachelor's of Culinary Management as well, and our Masters of International Hotel Management as well. So I mentioned earlier that once you've started your course with us, you will be starting, for example, in the Masters of International Hotel Management, your first year will be a in-class face-to-face or online at the moment. And then the second year, the first semester of the second year will be your industry placement. And then the second half of the second year, you will be finishing off the course. So we do have a large number of alumni placed all over the world. So this is just a small example of what we could fit on this slide with our alumni. So you can see they do have opportunities really to work around the world and make an impact and have a successful career, whichever way they go. So I'll just run through a few examples of some of our alumni. So on the screen now we have Jack Widagdo. So he's from Indonesia and he's currently the general manager at Alila Hotels in Indonesia. So Jack graduated with us in 2001. And then in 2004, he was in Sydney. So in 2004, he secured a job as a front office manager at the Southern Cross Hotel in Sydney. The following year, he was made assistant manager at the Ibis and Mercure hotels in Sydney. And then in 2007, he was a cluster revenue manager. 2009, he was a regional director of revenue. 2014, he was executive assistant manager at the Ritz-Carlton. And in 2019, he was actually crowned the general manager of the year at Hyatt Hotels. So you can see what I meant where I said that you do have opportunities to fast track your career and be able to grow quite quickly in your career as well. This is Guangho, or commonly called Sid. So Sid was the winner of MasterChef Korea in 2014. He graduated with us in 2013, in 2012, and then in 2013 he trained in a remote resort in Uluru. And then 2014 he won MasterChef Korea. He came back to us and graduated his Bachelor's of Business in 2016, and he's now a prominent chef featured on popular YouTube channels. So these are just some of the examples of some of our alumni who've gone on and to become very successful in their hospitality careers. So how do you become a student of Blue Mountains International Hotel Management School at Torrens University or William Blue College at Torrens University? We do require you to put in an application. So we'll require you to send in your application form, a copy of your passport, a copy of your high school results, and some other supporting documents. So if you've done a diploma before, or if you've done some work before, we'd need you to send in your CV or your resume, and we do require at least that you're at least 18 years old at the time of start. At a postgraduate, to apply, we do need similar documentation, an application form, a copy of your passport, some other supporting documents like your resume, and if you've done some work, like the references from your previous work. If you've done a diploma and a bachelor's and you'd like to be considered from some credit transfer, you could fill out the credit application form as well. And we also need that your bachelor's degree is actually recognized or equivalent to an Australian degree, or at least you have more than 3 years of management or supervisory experience in hospitality to be considered for postgraduate courses. So we do have open days at Torrens University. An open day is when we virtually open, well, both virtually and physically open up the campus to students, where you can visit the campus, get to meet the lecturers, get to meet other students, look at the facilities, the library, so you can, just get a feel of what it would be like to be a student at Torrens University. And the dates for our open days are usually on our website. So if you just go to torrens.edu.au/open day, you can see our next open day is next week, if I'm not wrong, but you can verify that on our website. We also do have days on the lives, and again, this is available on our website as well, where you can visit our campus virtually at the moment or physically if you're in Australia, and you can learn about our courses in business, design, creative technology, health, hospitality, and education. You can attend workshops and talks and listen to our lecturers and supervisors and the success coaches. You can speak to the lecturers, you can speak to faculty staff, you can speak to me, and you can hear from current students about what it's like to be a student at Torrens University. We do have international scholarships available, and these range, depending on your profile. We do have scholarships ranging from about 15% to 25%. To qualify for the scholarships, we will need you to put in an application, and then we'd also need you to sort of put in a little brief note. It could be just a paragraph, just sort of detailing your past academic and professional experience and how you feel this scholarship will be helpful to you. And then we'll look at it, and then we normally just give the scholarships to the students who've actually taken the time to put together a little nice paragraph, just telling us a little bit more about themselves. So did you know that 1 in 4 students at Torrens University is currently studying online? So I think I couldn't finish this presentation without, acknowledging the circumstances that we are in the world at the moment, and the restrictions that we have in place when it comes to being able to travel to Australia or otherwise anywhere to pursue your further studies. At the moment, just because of these matters that are a little bit beyond our control, we are delivering our course online, very flexible. We are putting up all lectures on the student portal. So once you finalize your enrollment, get your student email, you can log into the student portal and go into your course, select the subjects that you want to do for that term. You can even start with as little as one subject. and you can build on your study load as you become more familiar with the platform. We have multiple intakes, so we have intakes in January, in April, in July, and in September. We do offer you personalized attention. As I mentioned before, we do have the success coaches available who can help you structure your course and connect you to other students and to any other support facilities that you need. And it's a very dynamic way of learning online, and I think it's also quite useful because the world that we live in today, it's a blended world. So you might find yourself, even in your career, you could be based in Canada and you need to do a project with someone, for example, in Korea or in Australia for that matter, and you will need to be able to engage with them online, on different online platforms. So I think this circumstance also presents us with an opportunity to be able to adjust in a professional workspace as well. So thank you very much for giving me your time, for listening to our presentations. I think we can open for questions now. It's been quite a pleasure to share this information with you today, and we really look forward to welcoming you to Torrens University. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat box. Our team is continuing to respond to you, and we look forward to welcoming you to Torrens University in the coming intakes. Thank you.
So one of the very popular questions that often is asked is around studying hospitality and hotel management online. Are students able to complete all of the subjects online, or do we make a provision for students to do some of them online? What is the experience that your students have had, Beth, starting offshore and online from Africa in a Blue Mountains course?
Oh, thank you for that. Majority of our subjects are available online. For those courses that have a very practical aspect to them, like if the students need to go and do their hospitality placement, we do recommend that if they do have a hotel in their country that they feel that they would want to do their placement at that particular hotel or restaurant, they can email through to their lecturer and put together a small profile about this hotel. They are able to do their placement offshore in their own countries. The lecturer will require the supervisor at the hotel to fill out some information about the student's performance at the restaurant. And essentially, in this sort of blended mode, students are able to complete their course offshore online in a blended way as well. So it is actually very, very possible to complete your course offshore online with a hotel available in your home country.
What if students are happy to start online, but maybe they want to complete the qualification in Australia and get exposure to working at a 4 or 5 star hotel in Australia? Are they able to wait? Can they start online and maybe then postpone their studies once they get to the practical components?
Yes, they can. They will need to speak to our team at Student Services, and they can assist them to apply for study leave, where they can sort of pause their studies until such a time as they can travel to Australia. And then once that period of time, like once the borders are open and they're able to travel to Australia, they can come to Australia and complete their practical subjects online as onshore in Australia as well.
Fantastic. Then we have a question from Matthias. He'd like to know if we're serving any African dishes on our menu for practical classes, for the culinary classes. I think the short answer, Matthias, is at the moment, no, but come to us with a proposal and maybe we can make something happen. And you're also asking about, what our menu looks like at the moment. Again, do reach out to us or anyone else who is located in Sydney or thinking or in Australia at the moment and able to come to Sydney. Beth and I are very happy to organise a voucher for you to visit our William Blue Dining Restaurant. The next question comes from Megan Masade. I think I've said this right. I'm hoping so. She would like to know what our accommodation arrangements are like. So I'll answer the first part and I'll let Beth answer the second part. So for students completing an undergraduate qualification with Blue Mountains at Torrens University, Australia, they will actually be staying at the campus. And now the campus operates as a hotel. So students will check into the hotel every 2 weeks. Students will have their room cleaned every week. Students will dine at the restaurants in the hotel. There are 3, a formal, less formal, and a cafe. Students will utilize the extracurricular activities within the hotel, and they will be served and attended to by their fellow students and colleagues. And this is to really be immersed in the hotel culture and for students to also be able to provide very honest feedback to their classmates, a real 360 view of life in a hotel. No more questions, but she is attentive. That is brilliant. Now for postgraduate students who would like to commence their course in Adelaide, in Melbourne, or in Sydney, we don't have on-campus accommodation, but we can absolutely assist students with any student accommodation options. At the moment, due to COVID, there's lots of discounts for students wanting to partake in student accommodation. So definitely reach out to Beth and she'll be able to guide you through the best offers out there at the moment. Is the tuition fee for online the same as on campus? Yes and no. So yes, it is. However, we are a little bit more relaxed in how we approve scholarships for students currently. And these scholarships are approved for the entire course. So we understand the challenge and the discipline required for students to start their programs offshore and online. And Beth is very capable of getting some scholarships approved for your students, averaging at about 20%, 15 to 20. Now, is it possible to do 1 year online and move on to campus for the rest of the course? Yes, it is. In fact, if a student wants to come onto the campus, they will actually complete, if they're doing a Blue Mountains course, they will actually complete about 6 months of the course. But they'll probably do it in a longer time frame if they're starting online. Usually students are a little bit more hesitant to start online. They don't know what to expect. And we want to make sure that we're supporting them, especially if they're enrolling into a Blue Mountains course. We don't want them to feel scared or overwhelmed. So again, the main point being, if a student wants to start a Blue Mountains course, we will very much be supportive. And in fact, in their first study period, we will recommend for them to take a smaller number of subjects over a longer period of time so that they are able to then complete their degree in Australia. Fantastic. I feel that we have answered everyone's questions. If there are any more, feel free to reach out to myself or to Beth. And this webinar will be available If you were not able to join on time, Matthias, you will be able to listen to the webinar, and you will be able to have your staff listen to the webinar as well, just in case someone wasn't able to join on time. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely morning, evening, afternoon, depending on where you are.